Greetings, Elder Blacklight. And today we're talking about game recognized game. How this is my critical analysis of the Black Conscious Movement, Black Power Movement, which is really no movement at all. And I'm criticizing Brother Sa Neter. So he's a hell of a con man, and all the brothers that came on Sa Neter TV were con men. I don't care what they call themselves, the NOI, FOI, Hebrew Israelites. Could have been planted by the government or whatever. But game recognized game because, for one, number one, Sa Neter had this, as you can see, who is the enemy? Very wise brother as far as using the science of con, because at that particular time they were probably under suspect because people were losing their money. So he asked the question, who is the enemy? Then he said, it's a historical and scientific account of who or what the enemy is. Then he said, it's the white man the enemy. And Brother Polite said, no, he's not. See, it depends on who and where do you get your source of information. So if the enemy is schooling you, if he don't treat you right, he's not going to teach you right. So if the enemy is schooling you, where do you get your books from? Where do you get your education from? So in the Nation of Islam, someone came from another place altogether, another region of the planet, with a different type of knowledge. Master Farad Muhammad was his name. And he raised up the Imam Elijah Muhammad. And my uncle, like I said before, was very tight with Malcolm. As a little boy, he would show me, when I was a little boy, he would show me books he had in his basement that he had ordered from far away. Books he had ordered from Pakistan, from some places in Europe, Africa, all around the planet. I got a few books I got myself that are from Pakistan and Africa, Nigeria, places like that. So these brothers get into a debate using different kind of vernaculars and jargon. Now, let me tell you what those words mean. Jargon the number one definition is unintelligible talk. Number two definition is specialized vocabulary of those in the same work or way of life. Then you got vernacular. Vernacular is indigenous or using a native language of particular people, you know. Number two is the common everyday language of the people, the jargon of a profession or trade. Vocabulary means a list of words used in the language or persons of group. And then game recognizes game. When you know that you're in a certain clique, that certain clique, they got language that they use to shoot over the head of people. Knowing that you don't know what the hell they talking about, because half the time you don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? These brothers is very clever in using on how to spin things around, and you can tell they're agents. And they're doing everything in their power to keep you from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. In the early 50s, 40s, whatever, Hoover said we must stop the rise of a black messiah. The number one group they had on the list was the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam at one time were some heavy brothers. Now in this day and time, the government is making an attempt to slow the growth again. But the problem is the government is fighting an internal battle within themselves. Now there's signs of the Nation of Islam was rising again. So when they came up with YouTube and social media, the government had to put a retardation in its growth on YouTube and other social media. You know, so now we got groups that you think are black, but they work for the government. Now at one time they could have been sincere in their endeavor of raising the black people to a certain consciousness, a higher consciousness, but now, you know, money talk and BS walk. So when it ain't BS that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching, but they are BSers. You know, they are the ones that are the BSers, because they didn't have a firm grip on that reality anyway. A lot of them just like to have excitement going on in their life. You know, they got to be doing something all the time, whether it's evil or whether it's righteous. But the one that walks the straight and the narrow, he can see through all game. And just like when Master Farad came over here in Detroit, uh, in the Black Bottom, he had to go through everything that the black man was going through at that time, you know, to get knowledge of that, so he could have the right prescription and the right remedy to heal the black man. And that's what he went through. He did. Well, the brother coming up in the hard knocks of this asphalt jungle, uh, he got to get an education the hard way. So now you got a brother with two kind of education, or three kind of education: spiritual education, Caucasian education, and the supreme wisdom. That's an education too. So we a lot of brothers, you know, they don't understand where I'm coming from. You know, I can tell, you know, that most of the people, they don't dig my style, you know. But just keep watching, and you understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to tune you up into this sonic vibration of frequency that will trump the Trumps. You'll get it. This is Black Light, coming all the way from Detroit, New Mecca, 313. Quit watching them trap movies.